All right, here we go. The watch list for Tuesday, March 8th. Just showing you the SPY real quick. You can see we gapped down today, but ended up closing fairly close to a high. So the strength continues. And with that in mind, let's go right into the list. Weight Watchers, WTW has been a really nice mover after the gap down. Had a really, kind of a, I don't want to say really big, but a decent 2-day pullback. Closed close to its highs today. Let's go to 15-minute candles. So, I kind of like this over the 14 and a half. In other words, over today's high. This one might just head back up, or an intraday setup, irrespective of that number. But that's kind of a number that's interesting to me. Solar City SCTY. Let's go to 15s. I think you can see it better. All right. So you had this big push here, and then a big secondary push here, and it ended up after this big push. It ended up closing near the lows that day. So then bears were starting to feel kind of confident they're in charge. Then today, gaps up, rallies, and really doesn't roll over today. So it's not very hard to picture this trend line here. Don't know why I did that right there. So this one is interesting to me, just a break of this trend line. So I'm going to say somewhere around over 2450, 2452, something like that, might knock down today's high and then yesterday's high, or yesterday being Friday's high. So that one is interesting to me. Let me get that trend line back off of there because it messes up my daily chart. So I like Solar City. It's interesting. SCTY. ICON gapped up today into this gap here. Gapped up and closed strong. So I want to watch that for a second day play. There's not much in the way for this to have a second day move. So let's watch ICON. Maybe a red to green, something like that. AEZS. Kind of zoom in here so you can see this better. You had the 2-day rally, red day, gap down today, but closed pretty close to a 2-day high. So I like this one just really over today's high, over 405. This one might just maybe retest the 450 high from a couple sessions ago. So we'll see. I like this one. It's a low floater that moves really well at times. TMST, steals have been really strong. Remember, I had this originally on watch on a flag break over kind of this our trend line break right here, which it did on this day at 8:09, if you remember. So does it feel like I'm chasing? Maybe a little bit now by calling this again so soon, but it's above any recent high. You had a spike back here. You had this spike. Had the topping tail on Friday, and then today inside of Friday's range. So you do have a couple nice catalysts. I like a break of today's high, which would be 10:08. That might just push you right through Friday's high, which would be 10:30, and then anything could happen. This could make a quick move to 11. This one moves pretty quickly at times. There it is on 15s, 30s, 60s. 60s is kind of weird looking because of an after hours print probably, so let's go to 30s. And you can see a nice move and then kind of a little pennant forming, a flag, something like that. So anyway, even though it feels a little extended, a lot of things are moving that you'd think are overdone to the upside lately, and they continue. So that's a good candidate. VHC, I like this big 2.5 day move. Now you got a couple red days on declining volume. Looking for this one to turn back up on Tuesday, only with a proper intraday setup. PSTG, just another red day. Had it on bounce watch today. Just another red day, a third red day down. Just goes on bounce watch. No trades in it today. Whoops. UPL, really nice 2-day move, and it's kind of flagging. So I like UPL. I don't have a particular number, just as a potential bounce play. And then ARP, really strong move and closed at its highs. A lot of these, let me double check and make sure I'm not misspeaking here as far as the space. Yeah, independent oil and gas. A lot of these lower priced independent oil and gas plays are having multi-day moves. All right, and so, I don't want to dismiss this, even though it basically came close to doubling today. A lot of these are moving 2 or 3 days in a row, and this would be day one for ARP. So I'm going to look for a red to green or something like that in ARP. And I'll tell you what, guys, I could probably list 50 stocks that might be a second day play. The market's just insane strong, but I'm just going to leave it at that because hopefully we'll find some gappers as well in the morning. And I really don't like to have too many stocks to watch on a given day. I don't know if you've seen my setup, pictures on Twitter or whatever, but I have 6 monitors. But even then, that can get overwhelming. So I like to be kind of more narrow and focused and keep it within 10 stocks to watch, something like that. Especially if I'm going to add gappers in the morning, which we always do. All right, I'm going to quit babbling. We will talk to you tomorrow. Have a good night.